He's going to be your instructor for this course that we're calling the Digital Marketing Boot Camp. And so the idea of this information session is we'll just kind of review a little bit of the logistics about this course. And then we really want you to type in your questions and let us know what you need answers to in order to sign up for this course. The best way to do that, you'll see on your platform there that you'll have a box that says question, and you can type those in, and there's a chat function as well. Either one we'll be monitoring, and so you can enter your questions or chats in at any time, and we'll try to answer those questions for everybody. High-level details for this course. If you haven't had a chance to check out our landing page on northmetrosbdc.com, basically we're talking about a 6-week course, and it's going to start on February 9th and run through March 16th is the idea. And we're holding the spot of 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. for this course. The idea is that you will log in with Zoom. It'll be a private link that will be sent to you, and we'll have a limited number of people who can log in and participate in the course. And we'll have lecture, activities, videos, and things for 2 hours per week. And then Peter has some really great assignments that we're going to give you each week that are going to help you to forward your marketing, for your small business. And the culmination of the course is after 6 weeks, you should have some new marketing materials, really great grasp of marketing strategy for your business, and what we're calling a marketing action plan. So that's what I know. Peter, you want to tell us a little bit more about what's in store?
Yeah, absolutely. Really is a combination of a lot of the work that we often do for our clients directly. And typically for the scope of what we're going to cover with this, just to give you an idea of what I might charge somebody to go through all the scope of the stuff that we would do, to review all your strategy, to dig deep into that, to dig into your website, to look at your content, creating content, creating a social media marketing calendar, developing an actual marketing action plan based on everything that we learned. So that's anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 type of project that we would do. So that's what we normally would do for our clients. So in this workshop, what we're going to do is walk you through that process. So some of this is going to be, you're going to do it yourself, but I'm going to coach you all the way through that. I'm going to give you all the tools that we use to do that, the checklists, the questionnaires, the many different things that we use and the tools to help organize all this, to direct all this, to make sure we're covering everything we should cover. So you're going to get access to all of it over this 6-week workshop. So I think the really key thing is that that this is going to be working on your business. Like, we're not just going to be talking theory here and ideas. We're actually going to go, what's going on in your business right now? Where are you at? And where do you want to go? And then what are all the things that will help you get there? So you're going to walk away from this with an actual plan of action that you and your team can implement over the next year to help you grow your business. So it's really boots on the ground, hard work. We're going to work together and really figure out some things out and really have a clear path for you on where you want to go with your business in terms of your marketing over the next 12 months. So that's my intention behind the course and what I want to see come from it, so that you really walk away with something practical and useful and complete clarity on what you need to be doing for your specific business. So we're going to dig into everybody's business, however many that we have, and spend a lot of time really looking at your website, your social media channels, your content, what's working now, what's not working, what are the best options for you specifically, and where you should be working on things to get the most advantage. So there'll be some variations there on that, but it definitely is going to be very practical for you and specific to your business.
That's fantastic. And we are limiting this course to only 20 participants. That way we can deliver that very customized approach. Peter, would you say that someone has to be in business to take this course, or could it be useful for someone who's still forming their business?
So this would definitely give you a plan, because this really guides regardless of where you're at. So you may have to come up with it's like building a business plan to some extent, right? You have your ideas of where you think you're going to go and what you're going to be doing. So that'll be in the strategy piece of it, where we answer a lot of questions. So anybody just starting out even can answer that strategy piece, and strategy drives everything else throughout the rest of the course. So even somebody fairly new, or with a solid idea, or if it's a business that is a pretty common type business. So if you were a retail store or something like that of some type, that's a known business entity, but or a plumber or something like that, right? We kind of know what are the right questions to ask to do that. So even if you're new, there's some stuff you got to figure out for yourself, but we kind of have a good idea with that with the local business. So
wonderful. And hopefully, Kalina, that answered your question. Just to make sure I hit all the details, Kalina says, if we're just starting out as a small business without any marketing plan or website yet, just
okay,
trying to open up now, would it be
great,
a course to start out?
absolutely. What kind of business? Yeah, and feel free, guys, to say what type of businesses you have, so we can be more specific with that
Yeah,
type of business.
please do. We'd love to hear some details. Um, she is in personal training business.
Okay, great. Yeah. So again, that's a known business entity and all that. So you kind of know how that space works. So what this will really give you is it's a great way to do it, because it will tell you really what you should have on your website. So a lot of times people already have stuff and they've kind of made it up, and they've you know got things there, but this will actually guide you and direct you on what you should have for your website and what content should be on your website. And you'll have a lot of that put together as a result of what we'll do here. And then we can also help you with directions on where should I get my website built? Where do I host it? What's the best platform? All those types of questions, we'll be able to help direct you on that and get you going. And in fact, if you're really good and hustle, you might even be able to get at least a few pages built to your website by the time you're done.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, I see a couple more questions here. Latrice would like to know, what programs and access will attendees need for class? And I can answer a little bit of that.
Sure.
And of course, Peter, you can chime in as well. But we will host this class on a very common platform called Zoom. It works a lot like this GoToMeeting that you're using today to see our presentation. And Zoom can be viewed on your computer, whether that's laptop or desktop. You can also use a tablet or even your smartphone. I'm going to recommend that you have computer access for the course, because some of the downloads are going to be in spreadsheet format, and we'll use common spreadsheet format that you can use on Google Drive, Google Sheets, or you could download to something like Microsoft Excel. And we're happy to help you with that as well. Technically, that's my job, and we have a coordinator named Hannah, and she and I will be sort of working together to make sure that all those technical details are handled for you for the course. You're not going to need anything beyond the sort of normal software that you might use for managing a business, is our idea here. All right, Michelle wants to know, when you're doing all your marketing yourself, how much time should be set aside for this task? Asking to balance hiring a firm versus doing it myself. Great
Sure.
question.
Here's what'll be great about this course is that as you figure out what your strategy is and what you should be doing, where and when and how often, that will determine all that. So it's going to be a little bit different for everybody. Yes, there's going to be some time involved. Um, should that be an hour a week or 10 hours a week? It depends. But you'll find out for sure going through this what that really should look like and what that needs to look like for you. And there'll be some things that you can do yourself, and there may be some things that you look at as we go through this and go, this would be better if I hired a firm to do this. And we can even help you create criteria of what you would want if you wanted to hire someone in that. So we want you to come away with a marketing action plan that has some of that detail built in there. This is how much time it could take. This is what I can do myself. This is what I need to hire out.
Wonderful. Two things I want to mention as well while we're talking about this class is we haven't talked about consulting at the SBDC in general. And
Yeah.
so if you're new to the SBDC, the Small Business Development Center, what we do at North Metro is we provide classes like this. We also provide free one-on-one business consulting services. And those services are always open to you. And what we'll recommend during this course is that you set up a recurring consulting meeting with either Peter, or we have a dozen other consultants who are ready to assist you in all kinds of different fields. Maybe besides marketing, you need some help with bookkeeping or with manufacturing strategy. We've got business consultants in all those areas, and that service is always free. So even if you decide, I hope you don't, but even if you decide that the digital marketing bootcamp is not for you, the consulting services are always open, and that will help you to stay on track once you have your marketing action plan moving forward. You can check in with a consultant periodically and keep moving forward with your business. The
Yep.
other thing I need to mention is that this course is sponsored by the City of Westminster. And we're very grateful for the City of Westminster for sort of giving the SBDC the push to create this course. And for any registered Westminster business that has a Westminster business license and has paid their taxes in the last year, this course will be free. So we haven't talked about the price. If you're not in Westminster, we're offering this course for $395, which is a fantastic deal. You heard Peter say at the beginning that this would be a minimum $5,000 worth value if you're retaining his services outside of the SBDC. So we really do think that this is a tremendous value for any business. And again, City of Westminster is, they really want to help Westminster businesses to have a competitive advantage. And so they're going to sponsor the price of this class for anybody who meets those criteria. And if you have any questions, then you can feel free to email me after this. I'll put my email in the chat, but I can show you the application for that Westminster scholarship. All right, Michelle's asking another question for you, Peter. She says, in another class, half the time was spent on refining your message, and not enough time was spent on the technical details of how to get your message out. Will you please address the balance of the topic content?
Yeah. So definitely the first session is going to be about strategy. That's our opening session. There'll be some work we'll send you ahead of time, even before that session, to get started. And so we'll spend the bulk of our time in that session and the following homework for that session in terms of who you are, branding, what makes you different, what makes you unique, what are some possible ways that we say that. So all of that will be taken care of. Really, the goal is in that first session. Everything else after that is how do you get the message out? And what are the tools? So how do we use our website? How do we create other content? How do we use social media channels? How do we use email then to get that message out? So really, it's, if you divide it up into 6 parts, it's 1/6 develop messaging, and 5/6, how do we get the message out?
All right. Michelle says, fantastic. That's what I was hoping for. Good. Good. Right. Further questions, keep them coming. These are great. And here we go. Natalia says, how do you decide the 20 businesses? Natalia, we are we're going to accept the businesses on a first come, first served basis. City of Westminster is able to sponsor 13 businesses for this course. So we're going to reserve 13 spots for Westminster, and then we have 7 spots that we can offer anyone who is not in the City of Westminster and wants to pay for this course. And I would like to mention that we plan to offer this course again in late spring, early summer. And so if the timing doesn't work, February 9th feels like it's too soon, or if you somehow don't make the cut on those first 20, then it will not be your last opportunity to take this course. But we're going to offer it on a first come, first served basis. And again, City of Westminster is able to sponsor 13 for this. Let's see, Latrice says, oh, she's got to go. And may I have the application sent to me? You bet. I'll send you the application today, Latrice. And looks like Amy started a question. It just says, hi, John and Peter.
Hi.
Hi, Amy. If you've got a question, please try again. We didn't see it there. And Natalia says, thank you. Great. Oh, Amy says, you answered my question as I was typing. All right.
Great.
Wonderful.
Good.
Yes. And just for anybody who might have joined the webinar a little bit after my opening spiel, once again, we're talking about the digital marketing boot camp offered through the North Metro Small Business Development Center. We're starting on February 9th, and that'll be Tuesdays from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock p.m. It's all virtual via Zoom. Our offices are closed due to the pandemic. I do apologize for that. It's much nicer to have a in-person course, and maybe someday in the future we'll be able to do that. But right now it'll be streamed to you at your convenience in your home. 6-week course, March 16th is the last date. So February 9th to March 16th, with ongoing consulting as much as you want. And our price is $395 for non-Westminster. And of course, thanks to that generous sponsorship from City of Westminster, free to qualifying Westminster businesses. All right, let's look here for any other questions. No more questions. Well, we'll stay on the line for a few more minutes in case you do think of a question. And then my plan for everyone who has attended the webinar today, look for a follow-up email from me this afternoon. I don't want to just pound your inbox with numerous messages, but what I'm going to give you is a video recording of this in case you want to watch it and listen to it again.
Yeah, good idea.
Yep, and I'll send you the links to our application page as well. And don't delay if this is interesting to you, especially if you're in the City of Westminster. Get your application in because those free seats are going to go fast. And yeah, we'd love to see you in class.
One thing, John, I don't know if we want to talk a little bit about the email marketing piece. A lot of people definitely have questions around that. How often should I send emails? What kind of emails should I be sending? How do I even get their email address? What are strategies and ways to do that? what platform should I be using to send emails? Should I use Constant Contact or MailChimp or something else? So I mean, we're going to dig deep into all that stuff and figure those things out, again, specific to each individual business so that they know exactly what they need to be doing around that. There'll be no ambiguity with that piece of it as part of the course. So I think if you just did that piece, it would be worth $395 to figure all that stuff out.
Right. I think I might have seen a question that I lost here. Michelle says, super. That was helpful. Thank you.
Good.
And Natalia says, all great. Natalia, did you have another question? I might have hit the delete button by accident.
Ah.
Could you retype it in? I think it's gone. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully that comes back in. Latrice says, thank you. Here we go. Natalia wants to know, I was asking if you suggest to have your website built before the course.
Again, you don't have to. So this is really going to help you with figuring out what you should even have on your website and what's important to have on your website. So you'll get a really clear picture of that with this. And when we talk about the website piece, we'll get into, you know, what's the right platform for you, which direction should you go. So again, we're going to really tailor that to you. You know, and if you work hard enough, you might even be able to actually get some pages built by the time the course is over. So totally fine if you don't have a website now, because this is really going to direct you on all of the right content, and we'll coach you through what's the right platform for you to build out the site.
You bet. Thank you, Natalia. All right, Kalina says, for the class in spring, so for the next run through, do you know the class time? I would really like to take this class, but 3 p.m. is kiddo pickup time from school. Just curious to try and plan. Kalina, tough choices, and I totally feel your pain. We had to pick a calendar time for this course, and we went with 3 to 5. We know it's not ideal for everyone, and yeah, this is good feedback. We did toy with the idea of offering it from 5 to 7 p.m. And I don't know, Peter, if your schedule is still flexible.
Yeah, I would say, you know, let's get feedback from everybody. If 5 to 7 works better, I can, you know, we can do that. I can make that adjustment. So, but yeah, definitely, you know, everybody's schedule is different. So we had to you got to pick something so someone can say yes or no.
Sure do.
But yeah, if there's enough people that really want to take it, they're like, I really want to take it, but I can't because of the time. And if we get enough that say the time doesn't work, then we'll see if we can adjust it.
Yeah. And Kalina, something to be aware of is all of the sessions will be recorded. Is not as good if you're watching the recording and doing the homework on your own time. You know, it's much nicer if you could log in during the course, ask your questions, participate with the other students. So by no means am I trying to push you to this option, but it is an option that you could view the videos, do the homework, and try to meet with us offline after hours. We could make that happen for you. And I would say, especially if you're in Westminster and you can get this course sponsored for free, I'm not sure that will be the case for the next run through. So something to consider.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, Charlie says, hi, I'm a Westminster resident. Can I apply for a business license and then apply for the grant? You know, Charlie, that's a great question. And our partners over at City of Westminster they'll let you know. And so what I would have you do is I'm happy to send you the application. You can fill it in and explain that you are applying for a City of Westminster business grant or business license. And that will be completely up to the economic development folks in Westminster. If their budget and their rules allow for it, they'd be happy to pay for your course. That's a question that, to be honest with you, I'm not quite sure. But it's free to apply, and all they can say is no. So you might as well try. Charlie also says, Peter, I would like to discuss with you whether this is a good time for me. Okay, this has got some private information here. I'll tell you what, Charlie, I'll send this question to Peter and have him answer that. I just want to respect our confidentiality policy and make sure that we're doing things right. But yeah, it seems like you've got some questions about the scheduling and the time. We'll answer those questions for you offline. Thank you for that.
Great.
All right. Well, folks, we're coming up on 12:30 here, and I want to respect everyone's time and wrap this up in a timely manner. So once again, Digital Marketing Bootcamp, 6-week course starts February 9th, Tuesdays, 3 to 5 p.m., free to eligible City of Westminster businesses, pending their approval of your application, basically that you have a Westminster license and you've paid your taxes. And, you know, $395 for anybody else. You're getting several $1,000s worth of value out of this, and we really hope that you'll join us for this course, and that we can help your business get their marketing to the next level.
Well stated, sir. Well stated.
Thank you. Always a pleasure, Peter.
You bet, John.
Yeah, let's wrap this up. If you have any more questions, when you see my follow-up email today, please just fire them at me, and either Peter or I, or both of us, will get back to you and make sure you get those answers that you need. And if this is at all interesting to you, please do apply sooner rather than later. We have to limit it to the first 20 for this edition. All right. Thanks a lot. See you next time.